What is going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome. It is the one, the only Pig Trail Network. I'm its host and creator, Tyzilla83. Hope you're doing well. We're going to talk about this Auburn and Arkansas matchup that went down Saturday night. But before we do, if you guys would, at the end of the video, like, comment, share the content that you've just watched. And, of course, if you haven't already, tap the if you wouldn't mind, tap the subscribe button and the notification bell. And I'd really appreciate it, too. If you guys want to help support this channel a little bit, go check out the links below the description or in the description box below every single video. There's a Pig Trail Network Patreon link there. It takes you directly to the PTN Patreon page that helps support this channel. Maybe you don't want to join that. That's $4 a month. Maybe you don't want to do that, but you wouldn't mind throwing, some money in a tip jar. There's a one-time donation link up there as well. Well, I guess I should say down there below the video in the description box. So I'd really appreciate that. But I've been looking forward to making this video since the game ended Saturday night. There was actually something positive we can take away from this game, so let's get into it. Before we dive into the stats and what have you of the Arkansas-Auburn game, I just want to say a special tip of the cap to Ty Storey in this Razorback defense. Ty Storey took lick after lick. I mean, this guy got hit. They kept trying to run the quarterback a little bit in this game. They wanted to see if Ty Storey could run, and he proved that he could run. I always thought before when I've seen him run around, he kind of looked like he had, I don't know, two left feet. But he actually looked pretty graceful a couple times running the football. I don't remember his longest run, but he looked pretty good a couple of times. He had a couple of decent runs, but he'd take a hit at the end of the run and would just get right back up. I realized statistically he didn't have a very good game. Grass stains don't equal points. I get that. But he showed a level of grit that I have not seen from a quarterback or maybe anybody really on the offensive side of the ball all year, and that was impressive. And I hope and I think that he'll get better as the year goes on. For the defense, I mean, they held Auburn under 230 yards of offense on the road or at Auburn. I mean, that was pretty impressive. Walking into a hornet's nest, and the defense never they were put in bad situation after bad situation because of how terrible the special teams played and because of the fact that the offense could not move the ball outside of the first quarter. They just could not really move the ball at all, and yet they held. Again, they only gave up 225 yards of offense to Auburn. That's not too bad. I know Auburn took a step back offensively and a step forward defensively this year compared to last season. But, again, it's good to see the performance that Arkansas had as a team. I think they can build off of. I think they can build off of what we saw. Let's hope that they do just that and learn from their mistakes and move forward. So let's get into the numbers of it really quick. Ty Storey went 13 of 31 for 141 yards, no touchdowns. We did throw a pick. Rakeem Boyd on the ground looked good. I thought Rakeem Boyd, he kind of reminded me of some past great running backs at Arkansas. And boy, that number 5, I get it. I agree. You need to retire that jersey. I wish he'd wear another number, but he looked pretty good out there. I thought he represented the number 5. Pretty well. He also led in receptions. He had 2 catches for 39 yards. For Auburn, Stidham would finish 15 of 22 for 134 yards. Whitlow, 13 carries, 49 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Schwartz would be their leading receiver, 3 catches, 50 yards. Now, where Arkansas offensively continued to choke, third down, they were terrible on third down. I think they started out something like 2 of 3 of their first 3 third down attempts. They finished 3 of 17. That's bad. Auburn would do not much better. But on fourth down, Arkansas would be 1 for 2. Again, their total yards, the Razorbacks' total yards of offense, 290 yards with 141 through the air and 149 on the ground. They had 8 penalties for 57 yards, and they did turn the football over. And their TOP, the Razorbacks' time of possession, was 32 minutes, 29 seconds. For Auburn, they had 13 total first downs as well. They would finish 4 of 13 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down, 225 total yards of offense with 134 through the air and only 91 on the ground. They had 7 penalties for 40 yards, and their TOP was 27 minutes and 31 seconds. Auburn didn't commit mistakes. They looked great on special teams. Arkansas was the opposite. Their special teams their special teams did them in. And, again, I thought early on in the first quarter there were a couple of late flags to me that I think the refs could have kept those flags in their pocket, but they definitely slowed down any momentum that Arkansas had at all on those particular drives. And it absolutely just it did them in, and they couldn't recover. And you got what you got. You got no offense from the Hogs. Again, losing 34-3, the final score. Again, I felt like what we saw, they can build off this. They most certainly can build off of what we saw Saturday night, and I think that they will. Does that mean they're going to win some games? I don't know. I feel a little bit better about Tulsa, a little bit better, but I still don't know if they get another win or not. If you ask me right now, I would say no. I still think they finished 1-11. There's just too much to overcome. Again, I will say, Ty Story showed me a little bit of something. I'd like to see those stats. I'd like to see better than 13-31, but I like what they're trying to do with him and having him do more than just throw the football. My gosh, throw some more tunnel or smoke screens. Let's see some screens. When Auburn pins their ears back and they're coming at you, draw up some screens or draws. Do something different. I'm a little, I don't know, Craddock, I always give anyone, a position coach, a coordinator, a head coach, I always give them obviously more than just one season, but I want to see them kind of mix things up a little bit more on offense for sure. But I will say this, the offensive line, all things considered, who they were up against, I thought this was one of their best performances of the year so far. Obviously, they're getting guys back, and people are getting healthy up front. They were able to move Froholt back to left guard, so maybe they'll start to play as a unit, and they'll get in sync, and as the year goes on, we'll start to see this offense step it up a little bit. Defense is right now, I think you could argue, is the strength of this team. Special teams, they got a little ways to go, for sure. That's going to do it, guys. Again, I appreciate it. Remember to like, comment, share the content that you just watched. Of course, if you haven't already, feel free to tap the subscribe button. Don't forget the notification bell, the PTN Patreon page. Don't forget to go check that out as well. And we'll see you again later in the week. See you around.